putting the blood in line. It's that Samoan slam, slam, slam. Xero set the stage, money talk that talk. Leslie break it down, Faith ready to rock. From high solo with the stare like a storm in the sky. When they speak on the bloodline, you know it's do or die. Hey, putting the blood in line, we keep the stories alive from the...
Yes, welcome to Putting the Bloodline. Yeah, we had a bit of an issue at the start with that one. But yeah, welcome to another edition of Putting the Bloodline this week. I'm Xero as normal, and we might as well go along the line and get everyone introduced basically. So, how are we doing them? Who wants to go first or whatever?
Hi, everybody. I'm Monty, Travel Teachers the HD podcast. And of course, this is Putting the Bloodline, everybody.
Hi, friends. I am Leslie, wise woman to ATD podcast. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, sit down, and have a good time with us today as we discuss all things WrestleMania and Bloodline. Let's go.
What it do, people? It's your girl Faith. Sorry I'm not on camera, but I'm here, and so are you. And let's get it going.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm not on camera either today, but it's got a few technical issues from my side, but it's all fine. We're getting there. I will just say sorry. I was actually just setting up a destination there. Right, so we've got Humble Roses podcast already in the comments saying I'm here. Hello, I'm here. That's hello Humble Roses, whoever's on that one. But yeah, welcome to Putting the Bloodline in this week. The post WrestleMania edition, I should say, for this one. Lot to talk about then. So, but before we do that, let's just quickly put up a image that I think everyone wants to obviously see. So we'll just have the program with us all show basically in the middle, holding that title out. And that, yeah, we've got to basically, you know.
There you go.
We've got to. So, you know, it's again. I said this earlier on before we came on the air. You know, it's like the law. So, you know, we just got to do that now. But yeah, so yeah. A lot to talk about then. So let's just quickly go through a few bits and pieces. I was just talking about this off air. Today, just before the show came down, a report has come out from WrestleVotes to turn around and say a lot of Raw stars are moving to SmackDown. Some of the names listed is names such as you've got Rey Mysterio, you've got who else was it as well that I've seen? It's Rey Mysterio. Paige is also confirmed that she is signing with SmackDown this week. So it looks like the tag champions are going. The women's tag champs are going to SmackDown as well, basically. After that, there's a couple other names as well, but I honestly can't remember who they are now. But yeah, it seems like they are moving a couple of people around. It's sort of like a mini. It's not really a draft as such. It's just they're juggling people around to try and boost up SmackDown roster. Ricky Saints as well has also been mentioned to have a call up, and he will be going to SmackDown if he does obviously end up being called up in the end. So, I mean, you know, any of those names surprising really going to SmackDown or anything like that really? You guys?
I mean, I did catch the Ricky Saints report, but I also saw where they said that they wanted to keep him on NXT because the CW needed a veteran.
Yeah.
But
so sort of.
Paige being on SmackDown, my instant thought was when Daniel Bryan wasn't the GM, she was the GM of SmackDown. Do y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So her going back to SmackDown would be just the perfect place for her.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that you know, yeah, it does make sense. The only problem is though, is obviously if she goes to SmackDown, then it means that she's away from Kofi Kingston. It means that she's away from Xavier Woods, sorry, and that, you know, because he's on Raw, and you know, we can't really split that tag team up, can we, of them? But you know, that's the thing there. Because I did put this image up earlier on, but I mean, you know, it's the perfect tag team between them all now. Seeing as the back now, you know, that is a legit image as well. So yeah, I will just say if you know, you know. I don't know who needs to see that one, but you know, yeah. Yeah, that's it basically then. Sort of news wise, we've obviously got some other big bits and pieces that we can cover whilst we're talking Mania. So let's just get straight into it then. So we may as well start off with the Twins then. So the Twins and LA Knight successfully defeated Division and Show Speed. That was a really good match, no matter what people said. It was one of the shorter matches on the card, but then every single match on the card was really short as well. Anything you want to say on that match with the twins at the weekend? And were we expecting anything in that one or whatever? Really?
I thought it was an okay match. I think I Show Speed showed what he learned with Randy and Jacob, and that you could tell he had been training for a little while. I was shocked by him body slamming uh uh LA Knight. I wasn't expecting him to go to that level or to see him get aerial a little bit. He looked like a flying chicken when he jumped from the ring post table with his arms flapping about. But good on you, Show. I think it was an okay match. I did expect that if they lost, that Logan or Theory would turn on him, and they did.
Yeah.
Here's what I think about this. Here's what I think about it. The match, the storytelling was on point with the match, but it was a good match. I enjoyed it. But my question is, can somebody please tell Logan Paul that the titles were not on the line at WrestleMania? Because Monday he said that they retained, and it was a non-title match. But I digress.
He did say that though, did he? I don't understand why he even said that one for, but yeah, that was really really strange. That was, So, but no, anything else on that one really? Anything else that we want to bring up on that one? Where do we see them go from now really with this? Now,
I don't see the Usos involved with the Vision for right now at this moment.
No.
Maybe in a little bit. Because obviously Bronson Reed has made hints about going after Roman. Braun Breaker wants that world title. So I think if the Vision stays the way it is, because I got a feeling Logan Paul and Braun Breaker gonna butt heads at some point.
Probably.
I think that Logan Paul is the one who curb stomped Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker finna get kicked out of the Vision.
But I'm also wondering, because we know Roman hate the Vision. He said it multiple times. And Seth's kind of on his own. Could we see? Could there be a possibility that he reach out to Roman?
That would be interesting. But Roman hate him.
Yeah.
Roman loves his little brother.
Yeah. But no, it's I don't know. I can't think of anything else really that possibly could happen with them, because obviously we know now that we've got the other guys back now. The guys that don't have a weak pull-out game. So obviously they're feuding with the
now free.
They're fusing with Division now, basically. Well, it is, isn't it? That got confirmed at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Now, Mimi sent me something. She sent me a meme the other day, and the meme was, these were Bianca and Naomi both had matches with Rhea before they got pregnant. Yep. And I said, I want a DNA test. Somebody call Maury. Because how did they both get pregnant after having these matches? I need explanations.
Y'all know how they.
You know what that means? Yeah, but you know what that means next, don't you? Jade's next. She's just been feuding with Rhea, so Jade's next. So
y'all seen how Rhea be pinning these women? We know how it happened.
Yeah. Exactly. I want a DNA test pronto.
Yeah, we need it, don't we? We need it. We do need that DNA test, don't we? Really, for it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, So I don't know. I think we're going to have a feud now between the we're obviously going to have Division, Vision, the Street Profits, and then possibly the Usos are going to get involved later down the line and stuff, isn't it? So, you know, I'm up for it. So, yeah, I can see that. And then, the Usos potentially bring it back. So, but
as long
they're
as
probably
that
waiting for Xavier to come back.
Yeah, because the tag team division right now, like since the Street Profits are back, I'm going, okay, y'all better cook with something.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they're probably waiting for the New Day to be back fully.
Xavier announced he was cleared and that he was coming back.
Yeah. Did he? Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I mean, well, he was obviously backstage at WrestleMania because he got that picture of Paige basically on that. So
yeah, him and Kofi did some kind of segment during Seth Rollins' entrance where they were talking about some outfits they planned for years. They were finally done, and so Seth comes out with his coat smoking. Well, the camera pans over to Xavier, and he says, "Now that I'm cleared and I'm back, I can't wait to wear this to the ring." And Kofi's like, "Hey, Seth's coat is smoking." And then they show Xavier fully, and his coat is smoking, and he got upset. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. It's I don't know, but that's obviously where the tag team division is going now, isn't it? So, well, let's quickly get up some of the comments then and see who we've had. So, Humble Roses to Man said, "Hello, everybody." TJ to Man said, "I put up the ones, but it's not for Roman Reigns." Ricky should remain on NXT, and I wish All Ego moved to SmackDown. Where's the other guy? What other guy? I don't know. I have no clue where the other guy is. I don't know what you're on about there. What you mean? Oh, I don't know what you mean. And then Tita said, "Hi, Faith Xero. I apologize for missing your show, Molly and Leslie." Followed by I show Hey Hey. Yep, I could do that one at some point. That could work. What else we got here? We then have Natalie Davis says hi. What's this? TJ Turner said, "Soul said Battle Royale. Whose fumble was worse?"
Logan's.
Logan's.
Yeah. And then followed by, "But his little bro isn't his little cousin." That meme was hilarious. Oh, Maddox. Oh, yeah. So, Maddox, that's what you're on about.
Yeah, Jacob's not happy about that.
No?
No, he did not like Roman calling him little cousin.
No? Sorry, no, he did he? No. I'm not. So, no, that's fine. But yeah, so that's that one. Whilst that actually leads us straight into the next segment then. So, Jacob versus Drew then. It was... How can I put it? I was expecting more considering it was an unsanctioned match. I do hate to say that considering it was obviously Jacob and stuff like that, but I was expecting more. They put it down as an unsanctioned match, so I was expecting, blood or death or something like that, basically, one of them to die, basically, but obviously that never happened. So, I know that sounds pretty extreme, but that's that's what I was expecting there. But no, to me it was like Bobby used a perfect word earlier on and stuff. Just quoting one of the other shows, obviously that I do with John Carr. It was so unsanctioned that it was actually tame. Basically, that was Bobby's exact words there for it, and it's I agree. It wasn't as the main events were more unsanctioned, and they were one-on-one straight matches basically, rather than an unsanctioned match in itself. So I understand they were obviously on ESPN and stuff, and they were obviously trying to bring people in. But if you want to do that, if you want to bring people in, you basically murder someone on live TV. That's how you basically do it, in my eyes. You have Jacob basically murdering Drew on live TV. That's going to get you viewership in, because then they're going to be like, "Oh my god, are we actually going to actually going to get to see this person again and stuff?"
No one got ran over by a golf cart. Drew didn't use Angela the sword at all. Jacob didn't use it back on him. It was just it was alright.
Yeah.
I'll say this about that match. It felt like a quick dream. You saw it
Yeah.
happen, but you don't remember much from it. And I think Bobby
Yeah.
he really nailed it home. It was so unsanctioned, it was tame. And I'm wondering if they didn't go to the extreme because of Drew and his filming schedule, maybe.
Probably.
But if that was the
Maybe.
case, why make it an unsanctioned match? You could have just kept it a regular match.
My thing is, if it was going to be, because I thought Drew was filming in between the SmackDowns, so I'm a little confused. I don't understand it. Maybe that's just me, but it was not giving what it should have given. But then night one in general, there were a lot of matches in night one that just did not give what they should have given.
Yeah. Yeah. True. True. Yeah. It's. Yeah, like I said, the main event, which was a completely just straight one-on-one match, was just that was more brutal than bloody than anything else, really. And that says quite a lot, that one, guys. But no, yeah. Anything else really on that match that we want to really say for it? I can't really think of much else.
I will.
To me,
I will say this when it comes to that match. No, the match wasn't high quality, but shout out for Jacob's entrance in that match. That was really.
Yeah.
It was,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that gave that was giving.
yes, it was really really good.
Got a little emotional with
Yeah.
that entrance.
Yeah. Fair enough. And that. So yeah. No, I mean that does work, but obviously we'll get into a perfectly good entrance in a bit because we need to discuss that one. We'll quickly skip through some of the other matches. So obviously we had Brie and Nikki win the Women's Tag Team Championships. There's that one. We had Becky beat AJ Lee for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther defeated Seth by a submission. Liv beat Stephanie, and then of course in the main event where we had Cody Rhodes successfully retaining against Randall Keith Orton, as we like to call him. Yeah, stuff like that. So anything on any of those matches really before we skip on and go on really?
Yeah, okay. This is how I feel about the whole women's tag match. If Nikki couldn't make it, and I think everybody kind of has this same thought. If Nikki couldn't make it, put the Kabuki Warriors in. If you didn't want to use the Kabuki Warriors, you had B-Fab and Michin. They've been tagging together. You had options. Paige, to me, still have her come back at Mania, but have her interfere in the AJ Lee Becky match.
Yeah.
You could put the Kabuki Warriors into that tag spot, give Asuka her WrestleMania moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Let them, if you wasn't going to put the tag titles on Bayley and Lyra, which I think they should have if Lash and Nia wasn't retaining, then put it on the Kabuki Warriors. Let them take it back to Raw. When Nikki is healed, before anything happens, when Nikki's healed, let them come back, fight the Kabuki Warriors, take the titles off of them. Now you're right back to wherever creative what the hell they was going with that. Have Paige come out during AJ and Becky's match. Team PCB is back, baby. Cost AJ her title and put it on Becky. And then later down the line, you could have had Paige versus Becky.
Yeah.
Paige is known for challenging people, mainly AJ, right after WrestleMania for their titles. You could have done that with Becky.
Yeah.
Because Becky didn't need to win the title back.
Yeah.
So that's my only gripe with that match. All the other matches, they were what they were. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah.
I will say this. If I have to listen to Trouble every Monday, I am going to stab my ears.
Trouble. That's me.
Speaking of Miss I Can't Dance, I really think with that match, I think Stephanie should have retained. But at the same time, I get it when you have Roxanne and when you have Raquel there, where there's potential story of them beating down Liv out of Judgment Day. In my opinion, I would be willing to see it and I would like it. But anyways, they could be potential story there where you would have challengers for that world title with Liv holding it. So we shall
Yeah.
see.
Somebody finna get kicked out the damn Judgment Day clubhouse.
Yeah, I think so. So, what do you think? No, who do we think that's going to be?
I
Who
think
do you
it
think
might.
can?
It could be Raquel. It could be. It would be funny if it was Liv. I'd bust out laughing. They kick her out and
Yeah.
take a man. I would be like, whoa.
You know, I kind of felt that way too, but something sparked my interest on Monday, and I was like, what are we gonna do with this? I feel
Yeah.
like Dom may be eyeballing so Ruka a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Could be. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and
well,
I
you never know. I mean, Dom's got enough women on the go at the moment. You know, it's Natasha and everything. You know, give him another one at the moment. You know,
Mhm.
on that. So,
but I don't know. I don't know. So Ruka and Liv, I don't think that's a one and done. If it is, it was a great one and done for me. I love seeing Soul Ruka Soul Snatch Liv real quick.
Hmm.
But I
yeah,
don't think it's a one and done for some reason.
fair enough. Well, yeah, fair enough. What? Anything else really from those matches before we go on?
Mm,
Anything? Before we go on tonight too? No.
let's
I think
leave
Okay.
it.
Right. Well. Yeah.
Not too.
Same.
night
Night
two.
two. Right. So night two then. So let's move into night two then. So we had a weird opening where obviously John Cena came out and that electricity came down on the thing, and everyone thought, "Holy shit, the Rock's actually here!" But obviously, it wasn't. It was just the graphics changing, which was rather strange. I don't know why they teased us all like that. That's the first little moan that I've got about that one. But yeah, but then we then go into the shortest match of all of WrestleMania, which was the Oberfemi Brock Lesnar match, in which Brock Lesnar obviously, well, retired afterwards. Yeah, it's apparently a lot of people were saying that it wasn't planned and anything like that, and I do believe yes, it was not planned because I did see this and I did mention this as well that if you look closely at the end of it, Brock threw the X up and that to Paul Heyman. I know what they turned around and said is that Paul and that wanted some. Well, Paul and Brock asked for a little bit of time afterwards because they were planning, because they were planning on doing something, but I don't know what it was. But nobody knew that Brock was planning on that. And then he obviously had to symbol to Heyman that yes, it was legit by throwing the X up. That's basically his way of saying it to him. So those emotions apparently were real for it, if you get me. Yeah, that's what it was. For it. What do we think on that? Do we think he is going to come back for one more match if they can obviously convince him, or do we think it's done? Because I mean, it seems like the Gunther storyline's moved on now, really.
So like as for me, first and foremost, it did kind of surprise me. I wouldn't expect, like, I knew he would probably retire soon, but I wasn't expecting it then. If he'll come back, I think the only way I think he will come back, it has to be, oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a worthy opponent, but it's going to have to be someone definitely probably that he's never fought before. It's going to have to be someone that fighting him is going to elevate that person. And have
El
him.
Grande.
El Grande versus Brock Lesnar, the Beast. Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go.
And of course, El Grande's got to go over. You've got to have El Grande go over on that one. No, you can't. You can't have Brock squash it. Basically,
I don't think Brock's coming back ever.
No.
I think he's done. I think him throwing up the X was really significant. I did catch it when we were watching it. At first I was kind of teasing, making fun of Brock until I saw he was crying. And I was like, hold the hell up. We ain't
Yeah.
never seen Moose Knuckle cry before. What's going on here?
Mhm.
But thank you, Brock. Thank you for what you've done for the industry, but I was completely shocked. I was not expecting that at all. However, I do give him props for, from what I understand, he handpicked Oba. He wanted Oba to
Yeah.
go over
Yeah, you
in
did, yeah.
that match. And so I
Yeah.
appreciate Brock for that.
Yeah.
Great match. It
Yeah.
did what
Yeah.
it needed to do. It did what it needed
Yeah.
to do.
Here
True.
is my opinion on it. Again, Brock Lesnar, you ruined my life. The first Brock Lesnar did what The Rock taught him to do. The Rock was his first title match. The Rock was his first win. And The Rock told him, you put the young guy over. You put him over by going on your back. Brock Lesnar paid the same
Yeah.
respect that was paid to him. So The Rock sold for him. The Rock did everything, and that I can appreciate from Brock Lesnar doing the same thing. Now, what I was not expecting was him taking off everything in the ring and then
Mhm.
throwing up the X to Paul. And to see the look on Paul's face, it was legit. Like, this is the end. I was hoping that, Gunner would, make him go to sleep, but I
Yeah.
see why he chose not to go that route and he went this way. I think that this is the best option for him
Yeah.
because he looks a lot stronger and he lost to WWE's future big star. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Obafemi's a made man.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, well, he has called out Roman, but we'll get to that at the end a little bit because that obviously needs to be talked about. But yeah, anything else? Anything else on that one?
Mm-mm.
Anyone?
Mm-mm.
No, fair enough. Okay, then yeah. So let's just quickly go through some of the comments before we move on. So uh, I don't know who that one is, so I'll just put it up on the screen. Sorry, I'm gonna probably butcher your name, so I'll just put it up on the screen. But they just said John Cena. So we've then got TJ's Turner said Paige would have been a perfect return confronting Liv. I said what I said. Roxanne wasn't applauding. I didn't notice it initially. True.
That's true.
Mhm.
And then Lena turned around and said, "Hello, I agree with Faith, but there is a story behind it. Wait until Nikki is cleared. The Bellas have a history of betrayal. They'll turn on Paige, and that's where AJ Lee comes to her rescue."
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that could work, can it? That could work. So yeah, it could work that way. Right, so just quickly go through some of the other ones then. So obviously, Penta successfully retained against Bonnie's son, Dragon Lee, JD Don't Google Me with the big head, Rusev, and Leo's favorite wrestler Rey Mysterio. So
Oh
yes,
Lord.
Penta is still the Penta's still the Intercontinental Champion after winning that ladder match. Anything on that one quickly before we shoot on through? No,
I think
whatever.
it was a great match. If Penta hadn't retained, I would have liked to see that title go to Javon. But I
Right.
think he did what it needed to do. I wish I would have got to see all of the entrances and not have them cut off, but it was a good match.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Fair enough.
so
Yeah. Go on.
from what I saw, because I caught the tail end of it due to VPN issues, but
Right.
from what I caught from it, it was the right call. Again, I'm the same way with Faith. If my son did not win, then it needed to go back to Penta. Also, y'all know why JD McDonough's head is so big; it's full of secrets.
Yeah.
Full
Yeah.
of guilt and shame.
That too.
Yeah. So anything else on that one before we go on?
Nope.
No, fair enough. Okay, then, right. So then we then had Trick Williams come out and defeated Sami Zayn. Obviously, Trick came out with a long receipt behind him, slash the long toilet roll as well, basically, just stuck to his foot. So, so we are, on that. So, yeah, there's that basically. Yeah, it's anything on that one. Right call, wrong call.
Right call.
Not for it.
Absolutely
Yeah,
right.
right call. Yeah. So yeah. What else did we have? Then we had the Demon Finn Balor defeat Dominic Mysterio. It's such a shame though because Dominic is one of the greatest luchadors ever. Apart from El Grande Americano. So I mean, you know, that sort of does make sense and stuff like that. But you know, yeah. What did we think about that one? Really?
From what I remember of this match, it was a good match. Finn did a lot of growling in that match. A lot of
Yeah.
noise making in that match. His body paint was fabulous on the back. It was him swallowing Dominic. The entrances were good. I don't think this is it though.
No.
No, I think I would love to see what I've been seeing people theorize online. Stephanie Vararar versus Stephanie and Finn versus Dom and Liv. I would love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I
What do we
think
think?
Kind of,
Anything?
could
kind
run
of
with
like
it.
a
Yeah.
Terror Twins versus Live and Dom. And
Well,
all on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Dom said something interesting when he was being interviewed by Jackie Redmond. He said that the contract, he kept pointing out that the contract said Finn Balor versus Dominic, not the Demon. And so I
Yeah.
think they'll probably have another singles match where it's just Finn versus Dom. And then if things
No.
go south and they jump Finn, maybe, and Liv gets involved in jumping Finn, maybe we see Stephanie Vararar come out. I don't.
Rah, rah, rah. Yeah.
But
I've just seen one of the comments. Sorry. Yeah, carry on.
honestly, the match, in my opinion, it was good. I mean, it's the demon. It's the demon. I am happy that Balor Club Finn Balor is back.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good to see the demon in his original gear and his original paint, and to see the back where he had the demon eating the
Yeah.
demon eating Dominic was wonderful. And of course, this is a continuance. We all know this is going to continue.
Yeah.
I'm still very shocked though that there was no like Slim Jim logos or anything for that painted on the demon. You know, that's what I was expecting. The TKO logo stuck in there somewhere. You know, and that so that kind of makes sense there. I would have thought they would have done that one, but obviously not. So
Not the
So,
Slim Jim
Not
logo.
the dude wipes. Come on now.
dude wipes,
Dodge.
dude wipes logo.
Dodge
You know, you
Ram.
got that on there.
Dodge
Yeah,
Ram
you know.
commercial.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else on that one before we move on?
Mhm.
Anything? No. Right, and then we had Rhea Ripley defeated Jade Cargill for the women's championship. That was. I know there might be a few people who think Jade should have retained, but to me that was the right call, having Rhea win that one. And obviously now the way that she pinned Jade, obviously Jade's going to be pregnant
Gonna be
next, isn't
pregnant.
she? Basically,
We'll
that's what
find out in a couple of months, y'all. She gonna come out and be like, "I'm
Yeah.
pregnant, y'all," and we gonna be like, "Rhea."
But wait a minute,
Yeah,
Jade,
Rhea, you did it again.
she might not get pregnant because Jade, how can I say this without Jade was on top.
Oh yeah. So Rhea's going to be pregnant next then. Look at that one, you know. So, but no, yeah. What do we think? Right call, wrong call? Really? What do you ladies think personally on that one?
Right call.
Correct.
I think it was the right call because Rhea done everything that she needed to do on Raw. Time to go to SmackDown.
I'm
Yeah.
just confused, and I'll tell you why quickly. What do you do with Jade and the baddies now? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't about to follow you. You don't got no title. You lost when I came out there to help you, and you lost.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, right. Before we move on then to the next bit, then, because I think this is going to take a lot of talking about this next bit. So, I've got TJ in the comments saying Xero. It's JD McBrain. He's the son of Brain from Pinky and the Brain. Okay, yeah, granted, yeah, fair enough. And then he took a haluva kick in front of his parents. Yeah, okay. Lena Tumana said Penta versus Javon for the IC title incoming. Javon wins IC title and overtakes it from him to elevate it like he did with the North American title. Yeah, could be that. And then back to TJ. TJ Tumana said Stephanie or Roxanne. Yeah, and then go after the US Women's Championship. That could be the next one, can it? That's okay. If they want to do that, go after the women. Yeah, go after the women's title or whatever. Yeah, the women's US Championship.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, yeah. Now, obviously, then before we move on, then we do have to cover probably the best segment of all of WrestleMania weekend. Obviously, you know, we had Kit Wilson come out, The Miz come out. You know, they were cutting a promo on John Cena, and then the man of the hour, Danhausen, came out with the mini housings. You know, and you know, and they probably had the best segment of all of WrestleMania. You know, it made everyone laugh. Even John Cena was laughing and everything. And there was an actual, well, it's not even a report, it's been confirmed that the Miz basically turned around and said that in an interview that he was backstage and they were obviously talking about that segment. And the Miz basically turned around and said, let's insert these ones in, because originally the segment was just going to be the Miz and John Cena. But then when Danhausen that came out, apparently Cena knew nothing of it. He was just told just to stay in the ring because he was expecting a segment with Miz. So those reactions from Cena laughing were legit. And that, you know, they wanted to obviously surprise Cena with that one. So yeah, it's that was legit, those reactions for that one. And like I said, that made all of WrestleMania for me. You know, it's yeah, and that personally, but you know, for that one. But yeah, so moving on then. So the main events then of the whole WrestleMania, Roman Reigns defeated CM Punk to successfully be our World Heavyweight Champion. I will put the image up there just so everyone can bask in its glory now. Yeah, just big screen there. So yeah, what do we well, obviously that was definitely right call. I expect there's a lot to cover on this match. So yeah, over to you ladies then, really, to cover a little bit from it, really. What do we want to say on it? What do we think about the match and everything like that, really? You know. No.
Every time Roman wrestles for a title or wins a title, and I have perimenopause, that is stress compounded. I'm gonna need money for my therapy bills because the Bloodline saga has started back up again, and I know this is going to be a short reign, but if they make it to 2,000 days, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. That's all.
As for me, I'm going to say first and foremost, throw up you ones, yes, for your new World Heavyweight Champion, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. And I looked at his gears and I was like, do we have Gold Glove Roman and Thunderdome Roman, all of that back together, like the crap talking in the ring, the mannerisms. It was freaking amazing. I loved it. The one thing I liked, and I rewatched the match over, is the storytelling in the match, not just like the verbal joust between Roman and Punk, but just the expressions that story was told in the ring, and it was awesome. It was amazing. Both competitors did a good job. Yes, I'm giving that 4,777-year-old man Philip his props. I'm just saying, good job, Phil, but it wasn't quite good enough, was it? So to retain your title, it is our title now. So, but yeah, it was good. But that's what I noticed. It's just that storytelling. It don't surprise me though, because you have a Roman Reigns in the middle of that ring telling story, and probably with the pin. So in some ways, so I'm super stoked and super excited. I'm eager to see, what this reign is gonna do for us, and see where we're gonna go with it. But
Yeah.
props to both. They did
Yeah.
amazing. They did good.
For
Yeah.
me, from the entrance to the exit, everything was
Yep.
played out right. Punk, you are the best in the world. I got to give it to you. You proved that. You carried yourself through this match. I gave you a lot of crap leading into this match. You will forever still be known as Pepsi Phil to me. But I got to give credit where credit is due. It was a really awesome match. I love the in-ring back and forth with both of them. They were telling the story without telling the story. There were some really good spots in that. Roman called Punk the B word 57 times when he was
Yeah.
when he was out there on the side of the ring. I'm glad absolutely nobody interfered in this match.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a clean finish with a decisive winner. We got that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I loved it. It was match of the night for me for night 2.
To be
Yeah.
honest with you, and this is just me though, the crowd was 50-50. Half in the bag for Roman, half in the bag for CM Punk. It was the best way to close out WrestleMania, but also it was a good save for a shitty night one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we
Yep.
can all admit night one was terrible. This was a great way to fix it. It looked like they fixed it. I do want to say Roman did what I knew what he was going to do. He was going to wear CM Punk out. I was waiting for them knees to start shaking and wobbling, and when they did, I was like, yes.
Not the knees.
And when they were shaking and wobbling, and then he dropped him. He was going to do another GTS, and then he couldn't do it, and then Roman came in with the Superman punch, and then we got to that part where CM Punk, Roman was talking trash, and he was sitting up, and CM Punk goes to hit him, and he falls to the ground, and I was like, "Yep, put him out, put him down,
Yeah.
put him down."
So,
But it was beautiful. It was a beautiful match.
Yeah. I think one of the things we do need to talk about is that entrance to it. It was a very special entrance and stuff like for Roman. So yeah, because obviously we had a head of the table come back as well, which was
Mhm.
So that was a shocker
Yeah.
to me. That head of the table,
Good.
they brought back
Yeah.
head of the table for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, head of the table's back now, isn't it? Because he even came out to it on Monday night as well. So which is pretty good. I do believe now he's back because obviously he kept referring to himself as the tribal chief now, rather than the OTC. So I'm assuming that he's now the tribal chief again, which obviously leads into the weight match really. Right. So
Back to
what do you
being
think?
head of the table.
Yeah. And then one of the other things that we do need to then talk about then is obviously the post-match interview, post-match interviews basically. Obafemi has called out Roman Reigns and said near the end of the year the tribal chief can get some, so that's going to be a really hard-hitting match. Now, I do think that obviously where he said near the end of the year, we're probably going to be looking one of the Saudi shows. I would have thought, possibly the one in November. No, because that'd be Crown Jewel. It can't be that. I don't know when they're going to do that, considering obviously they said like end of the year and stuff. Really, because I found that rather strange. They said end of the year rather than like SummerSlam or in a couple of weeks or whatever it was. So I don't know. Unless they obviously want to build them up and stuff. But what do we think on that?
For me, I feel like that match you got to do at one of the big four.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
My thing.
But
Go ahead.
if they want to do it towards the end of the year, Survivor Series would be the only place you could do it. If Roman's not involved in War Games, which
Can we not do that? Can we not do that? Can we have another year where Roman's not involved in War Games? Because last year's War Games made me mad.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, the SummerSlam match needs to be Seth and Roman.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that.
Well, yeah, you got to get Seth out the way before you get Oba in the way. And I actually think that the way they get to Oba and Roman, I think Oba's going to have to go through some hills and valleys, and some of those hills is named Gunther, and some of those valleys is named Braun Breaker. So I think we see those matches before we get Oba Roman.
Yeah, looking at it. So, yeah, I think we do as well. Talking about then some other matches, then we've got to cover this because, of course, it was the ending to Monday Night Raw. And again, I done my typical classic thing where I was in your chat and I literally went back in a minute, basically, then left you to it as it was. Then, yeah, and then we've now got Roman's Backlash challenger, which is Jacob Fatu. So they're going down the family versus family route yet again. Yeah, what do you ladies think about that? Because I know that was a shocker. I heard the reactions when Jacob came out and stuff. I was still listening in and stuff. So yeah, what do you ladies think about that? Really, Brett?
I fainted,
No.
so I'll let Monty and Leslie go.
Again, who do I need to send my therapy bills to? I have had enough. I have been through it. Leslie and I will tell you, we have been through this. We tired. We want love. We want Dwayne Johnson to show up and to get this over and done with, and so Roman can run this fade. We are exhausted. No more fighting. I was this close sitting there. We were threatening to call their mamas on them.
Yeah.
Like, this is a problem. Stop fighting.
As much as I want to see the man whom I am named after, as much as I want to see the final boss, I don't want him to come back yet, and I don't think that y'all deserve it. And by y'all, I mean the idiots in Twitterverse.
Exactly.
Deserve it. But I don't want him to come back yet, and I'll tell you why. I think we're in for a roller coaster ride of deception with this. Roman did a move, and it reminded me of something. When he opened his hand and then he closed it into a fist, it took me back to right before Seth turned on the Shield.
Yeah.
I immediately started looking at Jimmy and Jay, trying to look at their mannerisms, and I'm like, "Damn it, Jay, you acting weird right now, bro." And you've been hanging out with Jacob for weeks now.
Nope.
And I don't like it. I don't like it.
Here's the thing that I remember from the breakup of the Shield. I seriously thought that Roman was going to be the one to pull the trigger, and they had set it up for us to think that it was Roman, and it turned out it was Seth. I think that they're doing the same thing. They're setting it up to us to think that it's going to be Jay, and it's Jimmy.
Yeah. Seems to be
Whoever it is, it's gonna break our hearts. So.
Yeah. Well, I do know. I was going to go into this anyway. Sorry, Leslie. Do you have anything you want to say on this one before I move on? Or something else? No. No. Too much or whatever. Basically, then So, from what I know, is they're doing the storyline now and then again of going down the route of Jacob's going to be the first family member to challenge, and then of course you're then going to have other ones as well. So obviously we're then going to end up going down and having the route of we're probably going to have Solo doing it. We're probably going to have Jimmy doing it, Jacob doing it, and stuff like that. Basically challenging Roman throughout this title run, because short of Oba and Gunther, there's no one else, and that obviously except from Seth and that. So so obviously so they've got to have those other. Those other matches as well, where it'll be with the family and stuff, and obviously that's going to then lead into the whole, storyline with, if obviously it is still going on, which it should be, it will then lead to the whole storyline then of them, and that, is, you get me? It's like it's going to be going down that whole storyline where they've all got to acknowledge Roman and stuff, or they've all got to acknowledge Roman. And then obviously then Roman will then be made to acknowledge the big brown, bald-headed, toxic guy.
Sugar daddy.
Yeah,
He said big brown.
But do we also
You know.
see, we're going to have to see at one point, you would think sides are going to have to be picked when it
Yes.
comes to it. So I think we might get an indication even this early, kind of to where everybody would be starting to lean. It's not going to be like, bam, so-and-so's here, bam. It's not going to be that easy. But I think, I think we're already seeing possible subtle hints of who's going to, the ones that are present now, where their allegiance are.
And to
Yeah.
me, the simple fact that Jacob came out there, my initial thought was, man, who sent you?
Mm-hmm.
Who told you to come here? Because before he was acknowledging Roman, and now he's going, I want everything that you have. I want your shoes. I want your chain. I want your phone. I want this. I want that. And so now I'm going, somebody talked to you. Who sent you?
Well, look at what he
Yeah.
said he didn't want. There's one thing he said he didn't want. He said, I don't want to be tribal chief. That was more
Sent him.
intriguing to me than everything that he said he wanted. Also, if Roman does have to throw up the one or acknowledge the big brown toxic sugar daddy,
Yeah.
I don't see him doing it willingly.
Right.
No.
There
I don't
has
think
to
he's
be
gonna do it.
something. I think he'll do it, but he'll do it under duress. If that makes sense. I
Yeah.
think he's going to be forced to do it to save somebody he loves, somebody he cares about.
Or he could be doing it to save somebody whose job is on the line. Another bald-headed man.
If he do it for Triple H, I'm turning my damn TV off.
No, well, again, it could even be El Grande Americano because we don't know who's underneath that mask, do we? So, he could be bold as well underneath there. We don't know. So yeah, it could be. Roman is a very caring guy, so he could be going out there wanting to try and save El Grande Americano. For a beat down from Dwayne. Could be him, but we don't know. No, it could be anyone,
I'd
really.
rather see Roman save Grande Americano than freaking Triple H.
I mean, it could not be Triple H. It could be Stephanie McMahon. We don't.
It could be Adam Pearce. We never know.
I mean, he's also bald headed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be, and could be, as the honorary Ooze calls him, Nicholas Marcel Aldis. We don't know.
But we know who Roman's heart is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to get at Roman, Cody learned it. He learned it in the launch to WrestleMania 40. Mention Jay, and what happened? Roman got to taking his coat off, balling his fist up. I think that if Roman has to throw up the one and somehow it's under duress and it's forced, that he does it to save Jay. Because we've never seen Roman be made to watch one of his family get decimated in front of him.
No.
And if there's one thing we know, y'all remember that beat down we saw that Dwayne gave to Cody?
Yep, they know
he
how
could do
to
worse. He could do worse to Jay.
Yeah. 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 What was I going to say? I've missed loads of comments. I've literally just seen all the comments there, and I've literally just missed them. So let's have a look here. TJ Timmer said, by the way, Julia did the Kit Wilson dance. Fair enough. Probably the best dance out there, I would have to say. Lena Timmer said, I like to see Sol Ruka defeat Becky for the IC title. Sol gets elevated and Becky stays strong in defeat. Yeah. Dalton Smith to said, "What's up? Sorry, I didn't know you was live." And then sup TJ.
Sup, Dalton.
Hey, Dalton.
Lena again to man said, "This win solidifies that even in 2026, the show still runs through Roman. It cements Roman's legacy heading into SummerSlam." True, yeah. Dalton to man said, "Gunther versus Roman at SummerSlam. Could be. And then go back then to the Jacob versus Roman match. Lena Turner said this is not going to be a match; it's going to be a reckoning for that one. For some reason. What a day, Dan. So I said that wrong, but what are they down to? And I said, happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? I don't know.
It's
Anyone's
not
birthday?
mine. My birthday's in September.
No?
Is
Yeah.
it one of
well,
y'all's birthdays?
happy birthday to whoever's, happy birthday to whoever it is, basically.
We'll take it.
Yeah, and then Lena Savannah said it's a cycle that never breaks. 2020 Roman ascends by putting down Jay. 2026 begins with going through Jacob. It always starts with family first. Blood is both the foundation and the obstacle.
Ooh.
Yeah, true.
You
That's
know,
true.
I just thought about something too. Xero just said that all of them are going to eventually have to acknowledge Roman, and then Roman would acknowledge the big ball toxic sugar daddy.
Don't forget Brown. Don't forget Brown.
But that means Solo, big brown bald sugar daddy.
Yeah.
That means Solo better get them knee pads ready, right? Solo gonna have to crawl back over there. But I do want to say this for Roman to say and make it a point to say, I don't want you to serve me. I just want you to stand with me. Don't serve me.
Yeah.
Stand with me.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people saying, oh no, they're running back the old bloodline. No, that's not what this is.
Right.
This is not the bloodline from 2020 all the way to 2024-ish. That's not what we're seeing here. What I feel like is Roman had a redemption arc. It dropped off when he started fighting with the Vision. Now I feel like Roman is like he told him, I miss y'all. I miss doing business with y'all. He misses family.
Mm-hmm.
They have been talking about it's all about family for over a year now.
Yeah.
And so whether there's betrayals or turns happening, I'm hoping that at the end of the day, when the bloodline story is over, when we finally get Rock v. Roman, that the family that we know as what started the bloodline comes back together for real.
Mm-hmm.
You could be healed, you could be faced, but I just want them all on the same page finally. And maybe that's what we're getting here. I don't know if that's the course that they're going to take, but I hope they keep at least the OGs, the 3 OGs together for a little bit before stuff goes crazy.
I mean, to be for real with you, it's a choice. To be for real with you, it should be Roman, Jimmy, and Jay, and then either Jacob or Solo as the enforcer. My thing is, if they do it that way, Solo has to be the one, has to be the odd man out. Because to me, a bloodline with Jacob in the bloodline, that looks more interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
break up the twins.
No. They could do anything, can they? Really, it's going to be a big storyline coming out from this.
Mm-hmm.
Alexis turned and said, "Did you hear Roman told Jimmy to talk some sense into Jacob?"
Yep.
Yeah, quite interesting. Obviously, that he told Jimmy to do that, and not anyone else really, which does make sense there.
But also, I do want to point out when Roman, Jimmy, and Jay were all together, they got a huge pop on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge. So that to me signals to me that they better not split this up.
Not yet, at least.
Mm-mm.
The fans want to see it. They want to see a quote unquote baby face bloodline run. Jay did an interview with Solo Games, I think was the place. And he said he very much wants another run as a right hand man. But he never said right hand man to who.
No.
Yeah.
I think that whatever's about to happen, I think the twins are the catalyst for whatever is about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Did you see the thing as well about with this video going around? I think actually you might have posted it, I'm not sure, but I talk about the twins. This just reminds me. It's got Rikishi and one of the others going around on mobility scooters and that, and someone said this will be the twins in 50 years' time,
Yes.
basically. Doing that, yeah.
I
like
did
that,
see that video. It's
yeah,
it's Rikishi and Tonga Kid.
that's it. Yeah, they would. Yeah, I seen that and I was like, yep. It's definitely gonna be that. But no, sorry, that was just completely off script. Then I just remembered that as I was going through. Right, so before we go then, so Lena's Taman said, do you see the Usos retaining the tag team titles? And Jacob, I see we have the bloodline with all the gold again. I don't know. I personally think that obviously this storyline when we're going into it now is, without giving too much away, I do think that it's gonna cause a lot of, as I said, I think I said this last year. I can't remember if I did. It was either last year or the start of this year. It's the storyline which they were meant to do originally, which, as I said, it's the Roman storyline when he was obviously chasing things, and that again is obviously you're going to have a lot of heartbreak, and then with that ultimate win at the end of it. So so it's like the whole Roman storyline. Once he dropped the title, when he went through, he then got a lot of losses and stuff like that, and he lost everything, and then of course then he sort of built it all back up and that again. So they're doing that storyline, but this time for the whole bloodline, including the outside. I say the outsiders, but you know what I mean, like Solo, Tama, our goat Tongaloa, and that, stuff like that. They're doing it all for them as well. So, that it's the way they're doing it really, and that which is going to be going down. So,
you know what I found interesting, Xero? They have now when they showed Roman's name on Monday, it didn't say OTC1. It just simply said OTC. No. So are they coming away from, you think, the OTC1?
I know they're coming away from the OTC. He's going back to Tribal Chief. Going back to Tribal Chief. Yeah, that's why they've addressed him as the Tribal Chief and stuff like that, basically. So,
well, that makes sense because if I'm not mistaken, on the premiere of Netflix, when he beat Solo, he became the undisputed Tribal Chief.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's not going to be the original Tribal Chief anymore, and he's just going to be Tribal Chief without the one behind it, I wonder if things have changed on how they go about finding a successor, if that is even still part of the story.
Yeah.
I will say this though, the chant for the OTC chant is just, I don't think that's ever gonna go away.
No.
Yeah. No, probably not. No, they're gonna keep chanting for OTC and stuff, aren't they? Basically, but no, it's yeah, but no, yeah, he's going back to Tribal Chief and stuff, and obviously like it's going on that route, and then like I said, it's going to obviously then lead into then the whole storyline again, where everyone's got to acknowledge him and everything like that, and that's why he obviously turned around and said, "When I beat you at Backlash, Jacob, you will acknowledge me," basically. So that's the route it's going down. But yeah, so that's it this week then. Lots of Bloodline stuff there. We will be back in 2 weeks. I just need a reminder. Faith, are you still going to be with us for that one in 2 weeks?
Let me see what date is at. Yeah, that'll be my last Putting the Blood in Line.
The last Putting the Blood in Line, yeah. Yeah, the last Putting the Blood in Line, yeah. Yeah, and I do believe as well that we might have Lauren joining us as well next time, if that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Just need to double check that. That one, yeah. So it'd be be a big show next time, and that for that one. Considering it's Faith's last one, you don't know what I've got around the corner. I might have some things planned. Just wait, And yeah, just wait, Well, we still need to have that sing off, about trouble and stuff, and and that, and stuff like, we've still got to do that because TJ Taman said he didn't want it, so so he's got to see that now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does.
You want to see that, So no, I might have a few things planned for that show. Just leave that with me, I'd say. But yeah, so yeah, but yeah, so that's that is the Yeah, you know, I'm just going to show up dressed up as Liv, you know, and that just in Liv's
And an
outfit.
El Grande Americano mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should do so.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
I've just had a brilliant idea. I've just had a brilliant idea.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. That's
This is about to be good.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no. I'll tell you. I'll tell you off air what my idea is going to be. And that if I can do it, if I can get it done in time, I'll tell you off air what the idea is going to be. And that it might not be a surprise basically for the thing. But yeah, no. So yeah, so we'll do that. But no, yeah. Thank you for tuning in this week. And like I said, we will see you in 2 weeks' time for another edition of Putting the Blood in Line. You ladies got anything to promote? Do you want to sort of bring anything up or anything like that really before we go off?
just real quick where you can find us at, as you see on the bottom of the screen there. That is our Twitter at AT Podcast 23. You can find us on the YouTube at capital A Acknowledge the capital D Dynasty. On Instagram, acknowledge _the _dynasty, and on the TikTok and across social media. The TikTok is acknowledge.the.dynasty. And also for our followers, get on over, and I'm sure he's gonna, but just get on over here to YouTube at DKO0 and follow Xero as well. That's at DKOXERO. So come on over and follow a friend as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That one. Yeah. Anything else? Well,
That's about it.
That's it.
that's about it. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in again this week, then. And like I said, we will see you in 2 weeks' time for a couple of surprises. I'll have to say on that last show if I want to get it all arranged and stuff. But yeah. So thank you very much, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Then. Goodbye.